Hello, this is an Akai recording.
Man, did you just hear that? That is so freaky, man. It's so weird. Like, it obviously sounds like AI, but it's like, I don't know. That's like my new recording, my recording software got an AI patch. So now I can put AI in if I want to, which is interesting. I don't know how I feel about it, but I mean, the voices are clearly not real, but then also at the same time, that's someone's voice. I'm pretty sure it ripped that from someone's video recording. It's just like with the Apple lady, the one that talks to you, Alexa. That's a real person. So those voices are probably like someone's actual real voice. There's one that says Santa, and I've been messing around with it. It sounds really goofy. But yeah, we're here with another match at Ather Raids.
Let us begin.
Taking on an opponent here. It should be pretty straightforward stuff. I'm just really tripped out by the AI feature here, just messing around with it. Don't know what I'm going to do with it or if I'll actually use it. I was considering maybe I could do something with it with the defense replays to make them a little bit more interactive. I don't know, maybe. We'll see. The downside or the upside is that you still have to type everything, so it doesn't really... I mean, there is an option that says speech to text or text to speech or something like that. So maybe I'll give that a try and see how that works as well. But it's not like a significant change in terms of like, it doesn't make me have to do less work. It feels like additional work. So maybe I won't add it in. I don't know. But it is at least interesting to know that the feature is here. Maybe they'll add some extra voices, additional voices in the future so that they don't sound like completely fake. I don't know, is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't even know, man. But just the way that it talks, it's so clearly, it's like, how can you not realize that it's AI? It's not real. But anyways, I did have some things that I want to talk about because, oh my god, Binding Worlds is actually popping off, man. It's not even the fact that we have the extra Binding World forma to utilize. It's the fact that there are actually like a bunch of great units that we can actually select from because they did the version update, and we're now actually getting into what's the word here? We're getting to the good stuff. We're getting into the territory of units that are actually usable. So, without being like completely kitted out or busted out or whatever the case is, we're getting like Brave Crom and stuff is available now to be recruited from the former Soul. And I actually, this is the first in a long time, months, I've actually gotten something that I've wanted from Binding Worlds, and it was Catherine. It was a Catherine, base Catherine. Her refine is absolutely nuts. I think it was fantastic. The only thing that I wanted for her was like stats and stuff from the dragon flowers. So I was finally able to get that, and I think I'm gonna like. Well, I don't know. It just makes her more usable in various different modes, but not like completely meta. The only thing that I was thinking that would really suit her playstyle is Brutal Tempest, but I didn't want to fodder a Legendary Ira for that. Whatever comes out next with it, I'll probably take that and then fodder that to Catherine that way, and then she'll be complete. But that's the only thing that the one that I have is currently missing. And then the only thing that I really got from the Binding Worlds forma was Dragon Flowers, and it's added on to just making her a lot better in terms of just how well she performs now. The 20 plus 25 Dragon Flowers, I don't really know how much to translate. I guess you can do quick math. What is it, like 1 for every 5, so that's 5, it's a total about 5 stats plus 5 to all stats, something like that. So yeah, it makes her a lot better, weirdly enough. The only thing I hate about it is the blue stars. Maybe they should give us some cosmetic feature to adjust that in the future, or just like different stars. Maybe they could have done that. I don't know, but I'm very happy about that. And I've also gotten spotted or recruited not recruited because I haven't picked her up yet, but she's an option that is available. It's Shamir, base Shamir, and she's actually insane. Like, I was just going through the binding roll stuff with her, and she was just blowing everything up, which is insane. She has Brigid's kit, pretty much her whole kit, plus Speed Taker from what's her face, Lynn. So I'm also like potentially gonna take that up because it's so good. But then I came across like legendary Sita that I'm actually considering picking as well, because her refine is soon. So having one that's totally upgraded might work out in my favor. I don't think she's going to get a bad refine. I think she's going to get a really good refine. The only if she's going to keep the Vantage playstyle, they have to make her do more damage first off, and then maybe even Desperation, like Vantage Desperation, because that's the only way that I can imagine that she's going to be able to take out some of the calves, not to say armors, but calves that are going to be attacking into her, and then she's going to need a ton of flat damage reduction to compensate for the fact that she will be taking a hit at the end of it. So I do see that potentially being a choice that I could make, but man, that Shamir looks really nice, and it's the fact that we have two of them now is insane, because the selection is just so great. I don't think having two would have mattered without them actually upgrading the units that we can select from, the version update. So it's probably the best thing that they did this now. And also, it looks like everyone has updated the units that they're putting out, so that the recruitable units that are available, everyone has updated the units that they're putting out. So that's another positive as well. It seems like everyone's actually interested in playing the game mode this go around, so that's great, which has not been the case for a long time now, because everyone was just putting out Brave Dimitris. And what am I going to do with my 15th Brave Dimitri, as CJ said? So I'm actually seeing different choices now, and that's really good. I put up, what's his name? Dual Ephraim, because my Dual Ephraim is actually insane. You should really pick him up if you have the opportunity to come across him. He's very player face focused, and he would actually benefit from having Brutal Tempest as well. It's just that it's only on one unit, so but he would actually benefit from that. If you have it, you can definitely give that to him. Oh, even though he does have Canto, but it's only Canto 1, so it helps him out in the long run. So he's there. I was wondering if I should swap him for someone else, but I was going through my barracks and I didn't really see anyone that really, no one really stood out to me in terms of maybe I should put this unit up. I was thinking maybe, Crom again, but everyone's already picked up a good copy of Legendary Crom, I feel like, at this point, so there's really no reason for me to do that.
What now?
And then, I don't know who else to put out. No one in my barracks really, has a kit that would make them relevant in the current meta, and I haven't upgraded anyone with a kit, aside from probably my Ascended Celica, but she's not great, so I probably wouldn't have given her. I wouldn't give her to anyone for that specific reason. So
time to make a profit.
Yeah, Ephraim is really good. So if you see Ephraim, definitely take him. He does a ton of work. But yeah, Binding Worlds is actually popping off. Looking forward to see what else I can pick up as we go through the remaining days that are left. It looks like it's going to go to the end of the month, which is fantastic. So that's way more selection to choose from. And just looking forward to playing that game mode some more. Halloween Asker. Halloween Asker showed up as an enemy in Binding Worlds, so they are just letting everything loose in that game mode. And I was actually wondering why they didn't do that to holoforms. Why they haven't updated the enemies that you face in holoforms, because it's kind of easy now. There was a point when it was just unplayable because of oh, what's her face? Red Flyer, Camilla. Camilla, Adrift Camilla was just the bane of my existence in that game mode, as well as Hinoka, base Hinoka, I think it is. She was also just the bane of my existence as well in that game mode, but now they're not really the toughest things to deal with. So I don't know, maybe they should start adding some tougher opponents there as well, just to make it more challenging, because it's kind of fallen off in terms of that bit of competitive edge that you look forward to in a game mode like that. So I don't know, let's see what they do with it. And yeah, man, it's really fun buying Worlds right now. Aside from that, not much else is going on. I was looking at the what's the thing to see when the next banner is, the calendar, and a couple of days, maybe 2 days, I think we might get a trailer either Friday or Thursday, so I'm looking out for that. But yeah, man, GG's, see you in the next one. Welcome to another day of Ether Raids. We're taking on David today, and we're gonna go with the Malice team here. Unfortunately, she did not make the A Hero Rises cut, which sucks. Well, maybe also good, because the thing about strong units is that you don't want everyone to have them, because then it becomes a whole issue of how do I actually deal with this unit, because now it's a problem. And that's kind of what's happened with Neathogger and Edelgard now. Valentine's is also going to be another problem. So yeah, positives there at least. Ooh. That's actually a problem. See, I queued into this match without realizing that Ike there had the Celica ring, which actually changes quite a bit of changes my entire plan, actually. I was actually planning to walk up to the defense tile there and have Fjorm as backup for far save, but Ike would be able to warp into Fjorm, which is not great. So, we're gonna have to try to play around Ike's warping ability. Not a lot of avenues to do that. Don't want to step on that trap, of course, because I think that one is the real one. And then Celica here, plus a sign decoy. There's a lot of headaches going on right here. Let's adjust the plan a bit. We're going to break the structure here. And then see if it still works out the way that I had originally planned. So we're going to avoid Celica like so.
There you go.
And then oh man, the Celica ring Ike ruining my day. This would have been one of those situations where I'd have picked a different team, or probably just try to player phase it. Didn't want to do the player phasey approach because there's just too much clutter in the way, and it's just so annoying to get through. Hold up, let me try to think this through. Okay, no further, wasn't able to really change much. We're just gonna have to see what happens. The assigned decoy makes this especially tricky. It's just another thing to think. It's a lot like SD, this particular match, where there's just so many things to think about that it's kind of hard to exactly predict what's going to happen. I kind of have a rough estimate, but the problem is Ike won't die. So worst case scenario, Ike attacks first, and then we're kind of just stuck there, just waiting for him to warp again. Hopefully he'll end up in a position where you know, I can potentially snipe him. So let's see how that goes. Kind of made a boo-boo here with Rune. I think I can resolve it though.
Is it time?
So yeah, we're just hoping that Ike ends up in a spot where we'll be able to snipe him, and then figure out the rest from there. I was trying to figure out if I could potentially try to tank Ike with like a toe or something, but then if I do that, then I won't be in far save range of Fjorm. So it's just too many things, too many variables, man. Well, no, it's not that. Gato might get the assigned decoy, and then, you know, try to far save Fjorm, and then that's not great either, so...
Let us begin.
Jeez. So we're gonna have to eat the debuffs from Azura's dance. Unfortunately, the catnip, the sabotage rather. We're gonna have to eat that, and then
Time to make a profit.
try to figure it out, man. This one is I feel like this one might be chalked. If I was actually able to go all the way up on the defense style, it would have been pretty easy to solo this with Malice alone, but with Ike warping around the place, this really would have called for a player phasey approach, which I did not bring. So,
Gotcha.
yeah, this is the best idea that I got at the moment. So we're gonna see what happens, and yeah, figure out the rest from there.
Is it time?
I think I'll just run away here.
Right.
All right, so yeah, Malice didn't come through with the win there from the Hero Rises. She didn't make the top 20 anywhere close. Looks like I was the only one really pulling. Well, I mean, maybe there were some other people, but not that many, I guess. But I definitely think that's the direction that the game is probably going to have to end up going in terms of just damage output and what we're going to be looking at in terms of Omni tanking in the future. It's probably going to be something like what Malice is able to do here in terms of damage reduction. Yeah, I wonder how much damage would actually take to like one-shot Fjorm. Back when Crom was a menace, Valentine's Crom, typically he would be hitting the Deadeye for, like, let's say at least 100, and then a lot of that will get reduced, let's say by about 50%, and then from there, well, no, so flat damage, initial damage, forecasted damage is about 100, and then the Deadeye doubles that, so that makes it about 200, and that's usually enough to KO Fjorm, 200 damage, but then that gets cut in half, and it ends up being like about 100 or something, so I guess that's probably what it is. So this is really bad right here. Ooh, man, if Rune had Flash, he'd be so much better, or a sweep effect of some kind, but the fact that he just dies to the counterattack is just not, it makes him so much less usable. If he even had Desperation, maybe he'd be better, but yeah, he just blows up. He does not take a hit very well. Maybe some more flat damage reduction would have helped him out, but yeah, Ike here just doing the most with the Celebrang, and most of these units will not survive a hit from Ike, so aside from Malice, I don't really have a plan here in terms of what to do, because not only do we have to deal with Ike this turn, but also Sigurd is going to get danced, I'm pretty sure. Or maybe he'll just reach naturally, depending on what I do. And Malice does not have AoE coverage, so she's probably going to die. Let's see if I can potentially salvage this. Also got to think about the assigned decoy. It should end up on Malice, because typically that's what's been happening so far, I guess.
I will try. Right.
Well, at least there's no more ranged threats, so
I will try.
I don't really need Fjorm. Stepping back would be the best option, since maybe I should have done that to begin with. I should have tried to bait Ike further down away from the far save range instead of going so close to Neathhogger. That was probably a mistake on my part right there. We probably could have won this if we had done that. Like, because the only reason that I'm unable to take out Ike currently is because Neathhogger is right there. I don't have Hardy Bearing to take him out in a melee matchup.
Right.
And Malice, since she's not moving, she just isn't going to have enough firepower to take him out in player phase. Also, she would need Hardy Bearing to do that, because a lot of her damage is reflect damage, so she just isn't going to hit hard enough for it to actually matter on the first hit. So yeah, I messed this one up, I think. Maybe if I had positioned Gateau or I'd focused more on getting Gutso away, I could have baited Ike a little bit better, but yeah, it's just all.
Is it time?
All of this is bad. I play bad here. I feel like this is that's ultimately the conclusion that I'm coming to. And even this is bad as well. I messed this up because Rune is now exposed, and I can't do anything about it. I was supposed to move him all the way into the corner, but then I didn't do that. So, yeah. I mean, maybe Sigurd just kills everyone. Maybe that happens too. Fjorm can't survive Ike because too much damage overall for a melee matchup. But she could have, done a job against Sigurd. She typically, especially with the AoE damage reduction, she's able to survive.
Let us begin.
Not kill, but at least survive against Sigurd, but not against Ike. So, I don't know. Hopefully the assigned decoy hits Malice here, and then, we can figure something out. But if not, it's an automatic loss, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Well, it probably was an automatic loss to begin with from how I approached the match, but this one is a big rip. Sedith got the assigned decoy. That's not great. He doesn't have the bulk to survive the combat. I was actually hoping it would have splashed to. Oh no, that's not how it works. That's the assigned decoy doesn't splash. It's the flash that splashes, so I shouldn't have moved. Anyways, as you can see, everyone's getting murdered. That's one thing Sigurd still does. It's murder. He murders everyone, except Arvis, who I really think needs some type of representation in the game for at least what he's done in G-Knowledge. The Grail's version of him just isn't the greatest. Only 8 damage there. She would have definitely survived if Sedith was still there, but not the case. But yeah, I think Arvis needs some type of fallen version or something to... even Julius, I feel like they've done him dirty with his Grail option. He's a lot better than what he's ended up being in Fire Emblem. Also, no alts for either of them. Kind of peculiar. But yeah, Celica Ring Ike got the better of me this time. GG's. Let's load up another match. Alright, so Danjiro is the opponent this time. We're gonna do another match, and this time I think we're gonna get this one done properly. This one is also a very complicated layout here. This is just so much clutter, but I'm pretty sure that he's gotten a ton of wins with this because it's just a lot of stuff to try to figure out. You can't warp up there. The ranges are a pain. Embla's here plus Loki. I think that's a pretty decent combination. Jeez, just a lot of stuff to figure out here, but we can get this to work. I have just the exact amount of space in my back row and space over on the other side of the map to actually figure this out. If this was 2 Emblas, I probably would have... No, yeah, if it was 2 Emblas, I probably would have been, ruined. This would not have been doable, but I think we can do this. So we're gonna far save on one side, and Malice will take care of Lynn on the other side. She has enough bonus stats to tank this Lynn. I'm pretty sure she's not gonna get hit 3 times in a row, so it should be fine. She should survive. Color matchup plus just flat damage reduction should be okay. And then she has enough stats, I believe. We're gonna pop the dance and make it work.
What now?
And then
Good morning.
Melee options, we'll figure that out later. And then we'll get the pots. I think we can do this one. The hard part here is just getting Celica off the board, and then we'll get Lynn off the board, and then from there it's just a melee fight, and it's fine. So yeah, that's the plan. Ooh, how do I get Gutso out of the way here?
Gotcha.
Let me go down here actually.
I go.
And then he can... Okay, yeah. Alright, cool. Alright, so...
Upon your word.
This is set up. So I was saying Malice didn't make it, but I'm glad that he didn't make it to the A Hero Rises banner. Overall, it looks pretty good. It looks like it's going to be a good banner, about what we would have expected. Ton of, well, not a ton, but just the most powerful units in the game. I'm hoping that Hector wins the voting gauntlet. Ooh, 40 on the second hit. That's big. Yeah, I'm hoping that Hector wins the voting gauntlet because that's actually, in my opinion, the most beneficial thing to pick up. A far save Hector. I think a tuned Hector. I think there's so much value there in terms of fodder duplication, in terms of him just being a good unit, stone terrains, he pretty much offers everything. Whereas Lyn, she's good, but Hector kind of also can counter her as well. Lyn plus her ring, both very good things, but I feel like you get more mileage out of a tuned Hector than you do out of Emblem Lyn. I don't know if I'm wrong in that assumption, but that's just like, gotcha. I don't know, maybe it's not subjectively, I feel like that's the right choice. I don't know, I could be wrong there, but hopefully everyone gets at least a free emblem, a free attuned Hector, and then, you know, maybe if it's Lyn, then I don't know. I'm not too happy about it being. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world if it's Lyn, because most people won't be able to use her properly. It's very difficult to actually build a consistent winning team around her, because most people don't actually know what they're doing. So I feel like Lyn herself might be a little bit too complex for the casual player. And for me, it does nothing aside from a merge. I don't really need an additional copy. Hector would actually benefit me more. Same with Sigurd. Don't need another Sigurd. Lucina, a merge would be cool. The Detect fodder, while Detect is a good skill, it's really just a lull in exposure, which you don't really need. It's not that great on anyone who isn't rearmed Lucina, or maybe even Ymir. Outside of those two options, it's not that great of a skill, Detect, because it's just a lull and exposure, both things that you can outsource. So I'm not too crazy about that. I personally prefer Sabotage. I think that's, you need, the more that you can get, the better. And also ruses are cool too. I don't know. Yeah, they're cool. And then what else? You know, I was actually thinking about this, but Marissa is also such a cool way to get around ruses, because ruses were one of the main things that, or one of the other things that were kind of a counter to Dual Strike. Because it's a status effect, Ruse essentially countered it, but with Marissa, it doesn't, because Marissa is a drive and not a status effect, so you still get, so that's a counter that they created for Catra, for the debuff that Ruse can inflict, which will eliminate triangle attack, but they're cooking. It's basically what I'm saying. They cooked when they put out this Desert Marissa. She's actually really goated. I feel like I should probably go back in on that banner just to get like some +1s. Like a +1 of Marissa would be good. A +1 of Ike, who I'm coming around on in terms of him versus Tamara. Man, I have really been trying to get Tamara to work in SD. I've built a team, her, the new Dimitri, Thor, Hector, and someone else, I forget. Who was that extra unit? Her, Thor, Hector, new Dimitri. Oh, Breath of Life unit. Not Breath of Life, Divine Nectar. The ranged one. So that's the team, basically. And man, she just dies so much. It's so annoying. He dies so much in comparison to Ike, Desert Ike, who is just plus speed IV. He does a ton of work. He performs so much better than her, even though I have her Tamara at like +4 and she's a little bit more invested. It kind of feels like the skills that she has aren't really the best skills that you can give to her. I have like Cell, Odd Speedway for the null follow-up, and of course Lagu's Friend, and then whatever extra speed I can get out of the extra slot is given to her from there. But you need, like, I feel like in comparison between her and Sita, Sita can actually kill things, whereas Tamara, she's usually just stuck standing there close to the enemy, close to your team, hoping that she doesn't get outsped. And it's happening a lot more lately. Yes, she is really good in the enemy phase, but I can't really go out and attack anything with her without some type of support, which I feel like then why not just use Sita, because Sita can actually do better in that regards. And then also, even Erica can do a lot better in that regards as well because of the Vantage stuff. All you would really need. So basically, between the three of them,
Maybe
Sita,
Good morning.
Tamara, and Erica, I feel like I feel like Tamara is
What now?
really like the weakest of the bunch. Might be an unpopular opinion. I feel like a lot of people are just like really high on Tamara. I'm also high in terms of what her fodder is, but just like her as a unit, she has not performed well for me. Ever since she's like been out, she just has not performed well on me. She's consistently let me down.
What now?
And I feel like in terms of speed matchups, I'd rather go with Erica or Sita. And then even the new Ike, I feel, is better than her, which is peculiar. Like, one of the things I tried to do is partner her with the new Ike to get the effect that will prevent her from being doubled so easily. So it's kind of like a pseudo way of winning speed checks more consistently, so that she really does not want to get outsped.
We'll do our best.
But the only way, like, the only speed supports are, you know, Sedith, or basically you run the new Desert Ike. But Ike himself, having 2 infantry units on the team, melee infantries, without added mobility, no way to get around the map, is just not the greatest for team building. So I ended up just throwing that idea out. I mean, it just, and plus they're both blue. Ike himself doesn't really do tremendous in player phase, so really I was trying to figure out how best to build around those 2 units, and nothing I was coming up with was actually working out. So I ended up dropping Ike, and I made the team that I was just mentioning with Tamara and everyone else. Dimitri is actually the one on that team that's actually doing the majority of the heavy lifting. Dimitri and Hector. Tamara is just standing there dying to Sigurd the majority of the time. Even though she has stone support, nectar support, she's still dying to Sigurd. So I don't know what to do with her, man. I feel like it's over.